Yes, indeed. Well, yesterday, I was watching a boxing match replayed of a man named Cotto. Those of you who don't follow boxing, it doesn't matter. He's amazing. He's fast. And what happened was, during the fight, I noticed that the opponent, who was excellent, was hitting him maybe once, and Cotto would counter with 3 blows. In fact, by the 6th round, it became apparent that he couldn't be beat. Cotto could be they couldn't touch him. The opponent could not touch him. Couldn't lay a glove on him. And as I say, for every 1 blow that hit Mr. Cotto returned 3. And a bell went off in my head, and I realized that that's President Obama. He's like a championship fighter who cannot be touched by his opponents. If you listen to talk radio, if you listen to the belly-aching Republicans, what you hear are crybabies. People moaning, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, oh, no one will do anything, oh, he did this, oh, now he did that, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, like a bunch of sissies. All you hear in talk radio is sissies crying about Obama. And then I realized something. We have him all wrong. And so I wrote the president a letter, a Father's Day appeal, which I published, and I really, many of you listen to the show. I mean, I know we have a large audience. I run into people who never go to the website. I'm not going to read you the whole essay. Please go to michaelsavage.com and see my Father's Day appeal to the president. You'll see a beautiful picture of the president, the first lady, and 2 beautiful children. And you'll see my appeal to the president. I want you to send it to everyone on your Facebook and Twitter lists. And I want to read you what I wrote, and then I'm going to ask you what you think about it. We're also going to talk about the butchering of the most beautiful creatures on the planet, our elephant friends. If you have any idea what's being done to our friends in Africa, your heart would break, as mine has. I just made a donation to an elephant fund. You say, well, what good is it? Go to michaelsavage.com and have your heart break. And I want you to cry. I want you to get sick, as I've gotten sick many a night, as I see them with their trunks cut off, laying left to die and rotting. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of humanity do we have on this planet that will butcher Christians and Christian villages, and we do nothing? And now you say, who cares? What's a Christian to me? I'm a wild, free person. I don't care about Christians. Well, maybe those liberals out there who care nothing about Christians being slaughtered by Islamic militants or murderers or psychotics will care about the elephants. And we've got to stop the trade in ivory in China. Yes, it's the good old friends in China who think it's so cool to have a little carving made of ivory. Yes, it's the Chinese behind it because they are the ones buying the ivory. We'll talk about that and what you can do to stop the slaughter of these beautiful creatures in our lifetime. But let me begin with the Father's Day appeal on the Savage Nation. Here's what I wrote to the president. And as I read this to you, I'm going to ask you what you think of my email to the president. I'm sure he'll never see it, but just maybe, this letter will reach him. Dear President Obama, I wrote, you are like a champion boxer who cannot be touched by your opponents. You have outsmarted and outboxed them at every turn. I appeal to you to understand where your victories have and are leading our nation. While you may think winning is all, you must also understand that even victory has its consequences. And while you may actually believe you're doing the best for our nation, the exact opposite may be true. Yes, Mr. Obama, you are the champion. You have crushed your domestic political opponents. But at what cost? Why have our foreign enemies been winning at every turn? Could it be you have and are being used by evil forces? In the following pages, meaning in the book that I'm about to write, I try to spell out the disasters both home and abroad which have befallen our great nation. For the sake of your children and the other children of America, Mr. Obama, please consider the results of your keen political skills. Is it a safer America, a freer America that your beautiful children will inherit? Or have your advisors taken us down a dangerous path, where spying on every citizen now threatens each of us, where your obsession with immigration reform has led to a floodgate of unskilled immigrants who will be a burden on your children's children and who have displaced the poorest of America's poor in their need for services which we can never afford, where your targeting of your conservative political opponents with IRS audits has all but annihilated the two-party system so carefully preserved for these past centuries since our founding. Would your children benefit from one-man rule, Mr. Obama? Will America's children be better off with a